Now, profit wise, what's more profitable? Is it a fix and flip or a new construction?
For the most part, new construction is, right? You've got to manage the timeline and expectations and the size and the scope of the development or what you're building. Because fix and flips, sometimes you can get in and out in 3 or 4 months. Right. So your turn is quick. So if you're buying the land right, you're overestimating construction costs, you're being conservative with your after construction value and still getting in at less than 65% all in. That's my formula, at least for new construction with land costs and horizontal and vertical construction. Then new builds, new construction is going to crush the returns that you can get on fix and flip.
I wonder. I never done a new construction, but I wonder why people don't, like, especially new people getting in the business, don't do more new constructions than fix and flips.
It's the lack of knowledge.
Right? It's education. The education is not available around.
It's the lack of knowledge, and it is a little bit more intimidating. Think about it. I mean, you can go in something that's existing. It's a little bit easier to kind of grasp. Okay, I'm going to put a new kitchen in there. But now going to the new construction, man, I got to start from the foundation all the way up. Well, wait, maybe it's not even foundation. I still got to get soil tests. I got to make sure that I can build what I think I can build. So without that knowledge, you can really get in trouble as well. You can buy a lot that maybe is not buildable. You didn't do the right due diligence, and now what? You're stuck with a piece of land that you can't do anything with. So, yeah, I think it's just like anything else. If you don't understand it, you don't know it, it's going to feel like a daunting task compared to, hey, I'm going to buy this existing property, and renovate it. It could be a little bit easier.
And it's not, like you said, all the unknowns behind the walls, right? The damaged studs, the Chinese drywall in Florida, that's everywhere. Or it used to be.
That was big. It used to be back in the early 2000s.
Yeah, it was very toxic, sure. And
people
and
sick.
Now what I've seen in Florida is a lot of houses with mold. Like, you can't see it, but people are getting sick on them. And they don't even know why until they go run a test and they find out their house is completely full of mold. It actually happened to, I don't know if you know him, Billy Ross. He's out of Orlando, Florida. He's an investor, and he was coughing and he didn't know what was going on. He got all kinds of tests done until he found out it was the mold in his house, and it almost killed him. So mold remediation, and it's very expensive too to remediate the mold, right? So
we just saw that a lot with this last, storm that we got hit with in October of last year. A year ago, we got devastated with those 2 hurricanes that hit us back to back, and a lot of our coast and a lot of our properties sustained a lot of damage, and it wasn't freshwater; it was saltwater, and that created a lot of mold real quick.
Wow!
And so we had to go in and remediate a lot of these properties because you don't want that same issue, right? There's houses still sitting there, brother, that have never been touched after that storm, and you can't walk in. I walked into one last week and I left there with a humongous headache. It was bad.
On Saturday, I went to a workshop here. A couple of friends of mine were putting together, and we analyzed the property that was on the MLS. But I noticed the walls were cut off 4 feet from the bottom. And I asked them, I said, guys, how many times have this property flooded before? Because that's a problem we have in Houston, floodings, okay? And if it's flooded more than once, that drastically changes the value that we pay as investors, because then the resale is tougher from insurance perspectives and all of these things, right? And I found out this property flooded during Harvey. Harvey was in 2017. And that property, we're still bumping into properties like that flooded back then, almost 8 years ago.
Wow.
So think about what's behind those walls. You know what I mean? Like, because no AC is running, no humidity, like all the humidity is going there, especially we're in a coastal area as well. Not as much as you guys are because you're closer to the water, but we're still nearby. So how do you guys view those properties that got hit by the hurricane as from an investor perspective? Like, let's say you're going to go buy one of those fix and flips. what's your risk mitigation when it comes to saying I'm gonna buy that property that's in, I don't know, Fort Myers or Clearwater or whatever,
Mhm.
like what are the things that you look for?
So for me, it's if it's a location that's going to have a draw, where at the end of the day, any of these remedia, like you said, they sell for lesser price, even if they sell it all, because of the challenges that it brings. For somebody that or people that in this area, like in Florida, they're more hesitant to purchase a storm damaged property than one that wasn't affected by the storm. Right? They're going to buy that all day and choose the one that wasn't. So for us, it's and I'll give you an example. I just bought one in Hudson. It's a Hudson, Florida. It's on the water. So waterfront property, dock, great little 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,700 square feet. But I just bought it for really, really cheap. And because I bought it for such a cheap price, I'm able to go in and renovate it. And then I'm just going to hold it for the next 3 to 5 years. So my strategy with these storm remediated properties, I've got to get them at a less than 50% discount, which they're available. They've got to make sense on the rental, even with adding in the higher cost of insurance and those things. They still have to make sense. And then it's, hey, we're going to hold that for 3 to 5 years. And then potentially, if we are buying them close to land value, eventually we could scrape it and build something new. Or in 3 to 5 years, the value is going to supersede, where we can then potentially offload or cross collateralize a rental portfolio that makes sense. So that's how I'm viewing.
Can you talk about the numbers on this particular property? I love the area, by the way. Let me tell you why, Carlos, because I use a very similar way of targeting properties, which is not necessarily in the large metro area, but away from the large metro area. And a lot of people, they don't understand that when they go a little bit further up or out, they're fishing on their own pond. And I'm pretty sure that's what you did here, or whoever brought you the deal, that's what they were doing.
Exactly. So we've got our acquisition team, and they're constantly out on the hunting deals for us. And they brought me this one. And so this one I bought for $165,000. Okay. 3-bedroom, 2-bath, waterfront. I mean, you've got the Gulf, 10-minute boat ride. Okay. Wow. So I saw the value in that because it's waterfront real estate. Waterfront real estate's amazing here in Florida, right?
That alone cost a lot of money right there.
I think at the end of the day, our rehab numbers are around 98,000.
So you're still sinking $100,000 in it, which is
still
pretty hefty rehab.
But our after repair value, based off of homes that have sold after the storm, is at $425,000. So you see the value. Still got great ARV. That same house sold for $700,000 prior to the storm. So you could see it took a hit. We evaluated it from that hit and a little bit lower. And then we were still able to buy it for less than 50%, less than 50 cents. Yeah,
but you're banking on what I call market amnesia, which is 4 years from now, 3 to 5 years from now, nobody remembers their storm anymore.